let's make some homemade sandwich rolls for some meatball subs for dinner. First, gonna start with some bread flour. We've got some yeast, and then some salt. Next, in a separate bowl, we're gonna add in some water, neutral oil, an egg, and then some sugar. Now we'll actually start the mixing process, and I'll slowly be adding in the liquid mixture. So now we're gonna let this mix until we get a cohesive dough. We can obviously see that the dough is formed, but it still needs to go for a bit longer in the mixer, so we're going to speed it up and let it mix for about 8 minutes. So now we just want to knead it for about 1 minute on a floured surface. I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and let it rise for about 2 hours in a warm place. Alright, so it's been about an hour and a half, and we can see that this is doubled in size. Now we want to divide this dough into 8 pieces, and it's 1,331 grams, so we need to divide the pieces into 166 grams each. Alright, so we have all 8 of our dough balls out, so now we're going to work with them individually. Right, so we're going to take our ball, we're first going to try to press it into a square. After we've pressed it into a square, we'll take the first half and roll it up, and then we'll do it again with the bottom half. And then we'll take the dough again and roll it in half towards me, and then press in the seam with our thumb. So now it should look like this, and we want it to be about 8 inches long. Alright, so we got all 8 rolled out, so now these are going to go and proof for a little bit, and then we'll put them in the oven. Alright, so these have been proofing for about 30 minutes, so now we're going to use the score and score them all. Before we put these in the oven, the instructions say to mist them with a water bottle. However, I don't have one, so I'm just going to use a brush and some water to lightly dab it. So now these are going to bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. Alright, so these are fresh out of the oven. They were in there for about 35 minutes, and they got a nice color to them. Really excited to try these out. Before I even want to cut into them, I do want to let them cool fully. They look really great, and they're nice and soft on the sides. So for these sandwich rolls, you can obviously cut them in half if you want to eat them like that. But for the meatball sub, I'm just going to add it to the middle. But at least wanted to show off one with the inside open. You can see it's nice and soft, and it looks like it baked up really well. I'm eating this until later tonight, but such a huge fan of this, and it was only like 3 hours, which is really great. I'm usually not a fan of making dinner, but when I can add a baking element to it, that's when I get really excited.